Hi, I'm Alan Dunson coming to you from Harlem, located on the island of Manhattan in the city of New York, and this is Harlem Movie Talk. Each week we'll review soon-to-be released films. Now first, let's talk about our rating system. Basically, we see the decision whether to see a movie as an economic decision. A good movie is worth the time and expense of going to the theater, and so our top rating is see it now. On the other hand, if a film is less entertaining and only has a modest entertainment level, we rate it see it later. And then we have our next rating, which is our worst rating, and that's called don't bother. And that's when a film is completely lacking any entertainment value. We also have our cast diversity rating, which is a little bit different from other reviews. We look at the diversity of a film based upon its setting. You know, a film in a rural area may be less diverse than one that is in a rural area, and that's an A to F score. Now this week we look at HONK for Jesus, Save Your Soul. And this movie is about the resurrection of a Southern Baptist megachurch after several young men charged the church's minister with sexual assault. And so the church closes down for a while. And the minister is played by Sterling Brown, who was from his massive pulpit has always railed against the sin of homosexuality. And Regina Hall co-stars as the first lady of the church and the pastor's troubled but supportive wife. You know, as the film opens, it really kind of focuses on the pastor and his wife's attempt to get the church back and up running so they can have the fame and glory and wealth that they originally had. And not only are they dealing with the scandal, but they're also dealing with the fact that two former members of their church, a young attractive couple, is starting their own church, and they're going to take some of the congregation with them. Now this movie is called a comedy, and that's certainly how it's being advertised. This is a very serious story, and there's a lot of pain on the screen in telling this in this film. Especially, the sympathetic wife, who she's really done nothing wrong to deserve to be drawn into this mess. And speaking of the speaker's wife, Regina Hall is outstanding in that role. There's always a description of someone having an Oscar-worthy performance, and that you hear that a lot. But she really does proffer an award-winning presentation here. Now, this is not to take anything away from her co-star Sterling Brown, again, who plays her husband, Sterling K. Brown, because he's excellent as well. But that's the problem with HONK for Jesus. Other than the two lead stars' stellar performances, there's not much else. Now, one thing is kind of interesting. Both characters have an extensive wardrobe in this movie, and you get to see a lot of fancy outfits, but ultimately great acting and appealing suits and dresses just isn't enough. And HONK for Jesus gets our see it later rating, so wait and rent it at another time. As to cast diversity, it gets a D because everyone in this film is African American. Now, if this is based upon a true story, then the cast is supposed to reflect the actual racial makeup of those that are part of that true story. But they're not saying this is a true story, so the cast should be more diverse. HONK for Jesus is an hour and 42 minutes in length. Is rated R for the language and sexual content, but frankly, as a person who's seen a lot of movies, this movie, HONK for Jesus, really could have been a PG-13. But again, the rating for this is see it later, because again, it's just not worth going to the theater, but it does have some entertainment value. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe.